All right, let's dive into one of the biggest and, let's be honest, trickiest parts of modern parenting. How to handle your teen's screen time without every single day feeling like a battle. It's a struggle so many of us know way too well.
Yeah, does that question hit a little too close to home? If it does, you are definitely not alone. It's this tension that just seems to hum in the background of so many homes. That constant push and pull over phones, games, and social media. Ugh. So, what makes it so difficult? You know, we can call it the digital standoff. It's that feeling, isn't it? Like you're locked in this endless power struggle with the very person you're trying to protect and guide. And man, it is exhausting. It often feels like there's just no way to win.
But what if the real problem isn't the technology itself, but the way we're all approaching it? What if we could actually shift from constant conflict to, believe it or not, collaboration? Well, to figure out how, we first need to take a look inside the teenage brain.
Here's the thing. The reason that top-down, authoritarian, because-I-said-so kind of rules often fail so spectacularly with teens isn't just because they're being defiant. The root cause is actually biological.
See, a teenager's brain is basically hardwired for a few really key things. They have a deep biological need for respect. They are constantly, and I mean constantly, figuring out their social status, and they are highly, highly attuned to what their friends think.
And this is exactly where we get a major disconnect. You, with the absolute best intentions, enforce a strict rule, but your teen doesn't feel protected. They feel disrespected. You ban a device. They feel controlled. You monitor everything they do online. They feel untrusted. Each of these actions, even when they come from a place of love, can trigger that innate need for autonomy and just push them further away.
Okay, so if the old way just creates more friction, what's the solution? Well, it's a really powerful idea called the autonomy shift. And honestly, this is about fundamentally changing your entire approach from one of control to one of collaboration. The core idea here is something called autonomy supportive parenting. It sounds a bit academic, but all it really means is that you stop handing down commands from on high and you start having conversations. You actually involve your teen in the process of creating rules and limits, treating them like the competent, capable person they are growing into.
And this isn't just some nice, fluffy idea. It's absolutely backed by research. When a teen feels like they've been heard, like their opinion actually matters in the process, they gain a sense of ownership over the rules. The boundaries become theirs, not just something being forced on them. And that makes all the difference in the world.
Okay, so that's the big why. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty how. How do you actually put this into practice and start creating boundaries that build trust instead of resentment?
It's really a simple three-step process. First, you just open a dialogue. And I mean a real conversation, not a lecture. Then you work together to come up with the rules. And crucially, you decide on the consequences for breaking those rules together ahead of time. No surprises. And these boundaries aren't about control. They're all about well-being. So for instance, when you collaborate on a no phones in the bedroom rule, it's not about punishment. You can frame it as protecting something vital for their health and success, sleep. Tech-free dinners, that's about protecting family connection. It's always about the why.
Now, what about all those tech tools we have, like parental controls? This is where a huge mindset shift has to happen. We tend to see them as these impenetrable walls that we have to build around our kids. I want you to try a different way of thinking about them. Instead of walls, think of them as speed bumps. A speed bump's job isn't to bring a car to a screeching halt, right? Its job is to make the driver slow down, pause, and be more mindful. And that is the perfect role for parental controls. They're there to create a pause, to create an opportunity for a conversation. They are a support for your parenting, not a substitute for it. The conversation is always, always the most important tool. So when you start putting all of this together, your entire role in their life begins to shift. You move away from being the digital police officer, the controller, and you step into the much more effective and honestly much more rewarding role of being their coach. And this is really the ultimate takeaway. Your teen is not a problem to be managed. They are a person to be guided. By treating them with respect and giving them a voice, you're not just solving the screen time battle, you're actually building a foundation of trust that is going to last a lifetime. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Don't try to do a total overhaul overnight. Just start with one thing. What is one small collaborative boundary you can sit down and create with your teen in the coming week?
That whole journey from conflict to collaboration, it really does begin with that one single conversation.